In this lecture, we're going to talk about family and kinship. A family can be defined as a group of people that are considered to be related, and this can be by blood or it can be by marriage. We usually see families in a household, which means that there's a group that lives together, they cooperate on a daily basis in production for the family, and they share in the proceeds of labor and other common resources. Now, anthropologists recognize two forms of family. There's the family of orientation, which is the family you grow up in, and the family of procreation, which is when you leave your original family, get married, start your own family. Now, what constitutes this family of procreation can change across the globe. That we have the nuclear family, which is common in industrial societies and also in foraging societies that are highly mobile. Now, once the children leave home, the nuclear family is disbanded, but at that point, many that leave home actually start their own nuclear family, so it's a second nuclear family. So the first nuclear family is actually your family of orientation, and then the second nuclear family is the one that you create after leaving your first nuclear family. Now, there are a couple of different kinds of nuclear families. There's a conjugal nuclear family and a non-conjugal nuclear family. So conjugal is when you have married partners and their offspring. So here we actually have my cousin Chris and his family. And then a non-conjugal would be either an unmarried female or an unmarried male with their kids. And here we have my sister and her two kids. So again, difference is married partners versus a single parent. Now, some anthropologists claim that the nuclear family is the center of all domestic organizations because it fulfills the functions that we actually talked about in marriage. But others disagree because other types of families can do the same thing. So what are these other types of families? Well, we have a family called the composite family or the compound family. So this is where you have multiple nuclear families that are linked by a common spouse. So polygamous marriages start these composite families. So you can have polygyny, which we see here with the cast of Big Love, where you have a man, his wives, and his children. But it could also be polyandrous. Then we have the extended family. And this is actually more common than the singular nuclear family, and this includes two or more nuclear families and often their parents residing together. Generally includes 3 generations or more, and again is more common than the single nuclear family. Some examples would be Bosnian Muslims, where you have multiple nuclear families that live together. They're headed by a senior male and his wife. The household could include his married sons and their wives and the children, and it can also include unmarried sons and daughters. Now, the Nayar of southern India are another example, and they live in residential complexes that are headed by a senior woman. So here we got a matriarchy going on. Her siblings could live there, her sister's kids, and any other matrilineal relatives. So kinship systems. This is how we connect with others through blood, which is descent, or marriage. Now, kin that is related to us through descent are called consanguines. Kin related through marriage are called affines, or we more likely call them in-laws in the U.S. So kinship systems determine the formation of social groups, like family. They determine how people view themselves in relation to others. They help to regulate behavior, and they help to shape individual rights and obligations. So this is a pretty important thing. It is kind of one of the primary ways that we organize ourselves socially.